Welcome to 5 Minutes in the Word, a daily devotional in the Word of God. Have you ever stopped and just thought about your spiritual life? Taking time to look into the Word and compare your life to the Word of God, or taking time to sit with a friend or a family member or someone you're really close to, someone you really trust, and just talk about the ways you can do things better, to look at the things you're not doing, and really just look and compare your lives before the Word of God. As Christians, we are constantly to be comparing our lives to the Word, making sure that we're living the best kind of life before God. But oftentimes we fail to do this. We stop looking, we stop thinking about it, and we just kind of go through life thinking, well, I'm okay. Or maybe we start comparing ourselves to other people and say, well, I'm doing better than so and so. Oftentimes, this lack of attention on our spiritual lives leads us down a very dark road to the point that where we have either walked away from God or become so apathetic about our Christian life that we're really not living for Him anyway. When we look into James chapter 1, there in the closing verses of this chapter, we look there in verse 26 and following, and it says, if anyone thinks he is religious, and I want us to pause there, because so many of us at times in our life, we thought we were being religious. We thought we were doing the right things, and whether that meant coming into Sunday morning Bible class and worship and attending every time the doors were open, that our attendance seemed to take place of our righteous living before God and take the place of that pure religion, as we're going to talk about here in a few moments. We have allowed certain things to distract us from really living for God. And so if anyone thinks he is religious, we get to take a step back from a moment and say, am I just thinking that I'm religious? Am I just pretending? Am I just playing at this? Am I just going through the motions? Those are some questions that we all have to ask ourselves from time to time, because here in this text, it obviously leads us to think that it's possible to just think you're religious and not actually be right before God. If anyone thinks he is religious and does not bridle his tongue, but deceives his heart, this person's religion is worthless. Here in this text, it's talking about the bridling of the tongue, and how that a religious person, a faithful person before God, is going to take the efforts to bridle his tongue. And for so many of us, this is a very hard thing to do. And so we have to work at this and put in the effort. But if we don't do this, it says, but deceives his heart, this person's religion is worthless. If we're not willing to put in the effort and we're just thinking, well, I'm religious, or I'm okay, or I'm better than so-and-so, then it says the religion is worthless. But then it goes on and it says this in verse 27, religion that is pure and undefiled before God the Father is this. So obviously you see that there is possible way to be pure before God, to be really religious before Him, to have that undefiled religion. And it says it's this, to visit orphans and widows in their affliction, and to keep oneself unstained from the world. I mean, we sit here, we look at this, and we see that our religion is before God. So this is who we are serving. This is who we're serving to. God is the recipient of our worship. He's the recipient of our praise, of our service. As we do to others, we're doing to Him. And so if we are not serving other people, we're not serving God. If we are serving other people, we can be serving God. Here it tells us to visit orphans and widows in their affliction. And these are two groups that oftentimes get ostracized, get left out, get forgotten. And I think we have to be careful about that, of forgetting people in the world. And then it goes on, and to keep oneself unstained from the world. That's something that is also very difficult. And when we're not actively trying to live out our life, actively trying to live for Him, then we just think we're religious. We think we're doing okay. We're not actually putting in the effort it takes to be religious, the effort it takes to be undefiled, the effort it takes to be pure, the effort it takes to visit the orphans and the widows, and to keep ourselves unstained from the world. The religion that we have and that we're trying to have before God is to be pure and undefiled. And it also requires a great deal of work on our part. a constant concentration and a dedicated service to Him daily. So today, let's look at our life. Let's take a moment to check out our spiritual health and make sure that today I'm living for God.